The program we're using is called GameMaker Studio, and it's a free program. Of course, you can upgrade to the professional. If you go here to new, we're going to name our project Arctic Animals 1. And then we'll just click Create. Once you come here, you come to the GameMaker platform. Here are all of your files that make up your game. In the middle here is where you'll do your commands, and then these are the control source. We won't do much down here. The first thing we need to do is add sprites. Sprites are graphics in your game. So you can go to Resources here and click Create Sprite, or you can use the icon here to create a sprite. We name all of our sprites SPR underscore, and then whatever they are. Polar bear for my project. And then I'm going to go to Edit Sprite. If you don't create your own graphics, you can use sprite sheets that have many different graphics on it. So I'm going to use a sprite sheet today. We're going to go to File, Create from Strip, and then I'm going to find my polar bear strip here. I'm going to remove the background from my polar bear. It might make him look a little weird, but he'll look better in the game without the background. And we're going to click Open. So you see here, my polar bear's kind of gone translucent. If I make this bigger, you can see all the sprites. It helps him, shows him walking, forward, left, right. But for now, we're just going to get one of these of him just standing. So I'm going to click in the corner, and there's a little box there. It may be hard to see, but I have to give it the inch height. I'm going to start with 64 because that's the standard, and then 64 again. I can move the box around so that I'm completely around my polar bear. I only want the one image this time. We'll get into the walking in our more advanced lessons. We're going to click OK, and that's going to bring us here. Now we don't have clear polar bear, so we've got to make him white. So I'm going to double click the polar bear here and zoom in. Using my colors here for my left mouse button, and then my fill, I'm going to fill him in and make him white. You may use a different image that doesn't have to have you fill them in. But if you need to fill them in, you can zoom all the way in and see each individual box, or all the way out. I think we can pretty much tell that he's a white polar bear. Oh, and if you make a mistake like I just did, just click undo and it'll take away what you just did. And we're going to click this check. It's our close the image and save what we've got. You'll see it all over. Here it is here. We're going to click our check. Now we've got our perfect little polar bear. And we're going to say OK. Now we've got to have some walls. So we're going to go to Load Sprite, Create Sprite again. We're going to call this SPR underscore wall. We'll click Load Sprite this time because I've got the image saved. Now when you go here, you'll have to navigate to where you saved your folders, okay, which may not be the same place that I saved my files right here. Okay. I'm going to go to my ice wall there, and I'm going to click Open. You'll notice that the height and the width are much bigger than the 64 by 64. We really want to make sure we're using that 64 by 64. So we're going to go to Edit Sprite. And when we go to Transform here, we're going to click Stretch. To change that pixels to 64 by 64. Now it may not let you change because it's trying to keep the ratio so that the picture still looks good. It's okay if you're 64 by 61. We're going to click OK and see our image get smaller. And we're going to say OK here. and OK here. And that saves all of our sprites. Now we have to make our objects for the game. The objects are what actually moves in your game. So you can click here. That's our button to create objects, or you can go to Resources, Create Object. All of our objects are OBJ underscore. And you'll see here a menu to load your sprite. We're going to click Load Sprite here. And we're going to do our wall first because it's pretty easy. So we'll click our wall. And we got to make sure our walls are solid and visible. And then we're going to click OK. And that's all we're going to do with our wall. OBJ underscore wall. And then we know that that is our object wall, which is different from our sprite wall. We're also going to add our object for our polar bear. So let's go to Resources, Create Object. Resources, Create Object. We're going to call this one OBJ underscore polar bear. We're going to load our sprite in there so that we know what our polar bear looks like.